really? And I even forgot that I applied for something, right? And I was like, wow, okay, cool. And then they told us, no, we need to go to the ministry, we need to go hand in this. And mind you, that scholarship, I was also not really so like, I'm gonna get it, because they had minimum requirements. And for those of you that think we go to Russia with just 20 points, no, we don't, okay? I was an excellent student, okay? So, but I was still not, I didn't have so much faith in myself that the minimum requirements they needed, because I think they said you needed a minimum of 30 points, which I definitely did have. You needed a minimum of 30 points, and you needed not less than C's and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sure people are gonna know. There's gonna be so much competition. Came out, I got the scholarship, and they said that we should go to the Ministry of Health. We need to go get this and this and this and this. Now, when I went to the Ministry of Health, I met one of the officials, and she said, Heita, and I'm like, yes. And she looked at me and she's like, come here. And I'm like, okay. Then she showed me her desk and it's like, where did you see pharmacy on this list? And then I was like, I don't know. Like, who told you to apply for pharmacy? And the woman was going off on me. And I'm like, oh, what did I do? And you know, I was like, but I thought I got the scholarship. Like, what's up now? She's like, no, this is what happened. There was no post for pharmacy. She showed me, it's like, look here, there was nothing for pharmacy. And I'm like, oh, it just so happened that when they sent the applications, because our applications were not even sent. When they sent the applications to, oh my gosh, when I'm thinking of this, I'm actually just like, you know, I'm also just, I'm amazed at how God works, really. So when they sent the applications, they didn't send ours, my best friend and I, because we're the only two people that applied for pharmacy. And they didn't send ours because there was no, they didn't need pharmacists at the time. So it was like, this is what actually happened. The school said that, hey, listen, okay, I think because we're like over 200 and something probably, I think all collectively together, plus those that were going to Cuba. So I think actually 300, maybe close to 300 people or more than 300. Hey, listen, this specific amount of people that you guys sent, we are looking for 4 positions for pharmacy, to fill our pharmacy classes. Do you have anybody that you can put in there? Guys, just look at that. Like, God was doing all of these things behind the scenes. I had no idea. I just put pharmacy there. I just put words. I think it's started to manifest. Oh my gosh. Great is your faithfulness to me. No, really. Just to get ready and, you know, get our stuff together. And I don't know at what point they actually told us that, no, we are actually going to go to People's Friendship University of Russia, and there's gonna be a group that's gonna go to Cuba and a group that's gonna go to Russia, right? And we're like, wait a minute, but y'all told us in the adverts that it's gonna be, you know, all these other countries that I mentioned before. And yeah, you know how things work with the government. So right there and then, I already started this internal argument of, oh my gosh, Russia or Cuba. And we were doing research. My best friend and I would go online. We're doing research, the difference between Russia and Cuba. Some people were saying, oh, Russia is better, Cuba is better. You know, everybody just had their opinion on what to say. And we're even searching for, you know, which country has church. Okay, Russia we're not sure that they're going to have church for us there. It was just so many conflicts. And I remember I actually settled this conflict when I went to my biggies at the med school. They were at the med school that time. And now they're doctors, Dr. Achipara and Dr. Dikwetepo, shout out to them. They're actually one of the biggest main pushes that pushed me, like, Kero, you just have to go. Like, at the end of the day, because my mom was not really keen about me going to Russia, not at all. She was like, no, you can just study really hard. If you really want to go out of the country, I'll pay for you to go to SA. You can go to any school you want in South Africa, blah, blah, blah. She wasn't really so keen on me going and stuff. So yeah, that was also not encouraging. So they just encouraged me, like, you know, just go out there, live your dreams. Everybody's just striving to go to this med school, but you know, just go out there. You got this opportunity. And mind you, this scholarship was going to pay for our tickets to go. It was a full catered scholarship. I did not have to lift anything, like nothing, in exception for delays and stuff, but you know, that's just normal. Government is government. But you know, they were paying for everything: medical insurance, tickets to go, pocket money. The pocket money was very good, very good. So it was really just one of those things, like, what else is holding me back? So they were just talking me into it, and I said, okay, let me go. And then that was like probably sometime, I don't remember what time it was of the year, but maybe sometime around July, August. And then I decided, okay. And then they told us we had to do our tests. Like you have to have a full medical report. Yeah, when you come to Russia as a student, you have to have a full medical report. You can't be HIV positive, you can't have any chronic illnesses, you can't be pregnant. No, you're not going anywhere. So just stay where you are. Stay where you are. So all of that. So we had to do all of those tests. And when we were doing all of those tests, I remember that during that time, we had a lot of tests, calculus and stuff. Then I was like, why am I still studying? Why am I still going to UNAM if I'm going to go abroad? Homegirl decided, and other people were faithful to, they were going to classes. Me, I was like, I'm not going. I was already tired of this calculus. Like, there is no way I am going overseas. Now, as y'all know, the government and its delays. They were like, one day they're like, oh no, you guys are leaving next week, and they just kept postponing things until that time you're already excited. You bought your suitcase, you bought your everything, until everything that I had bought I started using out little by little. I was using out the cosmetics I bought and all of that, and we were waiting, and my mom was like, why did you leave UNAM? Should have just went back. Government always makes these empty promises. Sometimes people don't go, they end up going after like months or years, and you should have just gone to UNAM, continue, because you don't know how this time. Like, me, I'm going. How am I supposed to go back to UNAM to go back to calculus, guys? Who would do that? No. So eventually the day came after some months, because the person had actually already given up. We're tired of waiting. We're just sitting at home, and lo and behold, this beloved, they caught us off guard. Like literally, texts were being said that no, everybody needs to come to the ministry. There's a brief meeting, and they didn't even they said they were going to give us our tickets, right? And you now thought like, okay, people are going to give you tickets. You're probably going to leave in the next week, whatever. So we went for this long, brief meeting. They were telling us, yes, you guys are going to go to Russia. The group that was going to go to Cuba was only going to go, I think, later. So they were briefing us that we're going to Russia. And there's going to be a group that's going to go first and blah, blah, blah. And, all of this. And there was a group that actually went first that went to a different university. And we were now waiting. When are we going? The ones that are supposed to go to People's Friendship University, where I studied. And we were waiting. Fine, the day came, and they were like, okay, so now there's gonna be a group. They told us do's and don'ts. Don't date foreigners, don't do this, don't get pregnant, blah, 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 giving us that adult talk. Because most of us were quite young. I think so, because I was like 18, 19 at the time. They were giving us that talk. They were like, okay, we're going to get you guys tickets from Trip Travel. Oh, and there's going to be a group that's going to leave tomorrow by 5 a.m. By 7 a.m. the first flight. Like literally at every single interval, there was a group of like 15, because they're not really, by protocol, I think you're not really supposed to put so many students in one flight as a country, just in case of anything. So we're being placed in groups there until like 5 p.m. or 5:30 or so. No, 5 p.m. I think 5 p.m. They brought the tickets, and guys, I opened my Trip Travel the 7 a.m. flight. I looked at my then boyfriend, I think my best friend, because my best friend was like she was flying like a day after or 2 days. And I was just like, oh my gosh, naturally a normal person is supposed to burst into tears, but yeah, I'm not that girl that cries. So boring. I said my mom, and my mom said, lol, I should stop playing jokes. Because the thing is with my mom that time, because my mom has been like an academic all her life. My mom has been an academic all her life. Like, oh, woman loves studying. She has degrees upon degrees and masters and whatever. So woman was studying for her exam that she had early in the morning, around the same time which I need to fly. So she's like, no, I'm joking. And I'm like, I'm not. And I sent her a picture, and she's like, oh my gosh, quickly rush to Clicks and go get yourself the last few cosmetics. My mom really thought I was playing a prank on her or something. I wish I was. Rush to Clicks, and then I went to get some few cosmetics, wrapped up. I told some of my friends, people came to my house, a lot of people came to my house, jewelry that time. They came and they helped me pack my bags. Dinner, everybody was just helping me pack my bags. Like it was crazy. People brought gifts, like it was so crazy. Even my boyfriend at the time was like, oh my gosh, like this is goodbye. He thought this was actually like a whole bad nightmare. He literally thought it was that, but yeah, it wasn't. And lo and behold, I was to leave, and I remember people even played this song. There's this song that I love. Taroka kadonako mwenye mwana wa tarongere. Taroka kadonako mwenye mwana wa tarongere. Goodbye. I left and I was on that flight. We're at the airport. We said our goodbyes, and my friend was Dina. Oh my gosh, don't ever take that girl with you to the airport. She just cries tears. You know the kind of tears that she was crying? She cried like someone that I was like, that plane was gonna crash, literally. It's just that I'm very strong at heart, but that's literally, like, you don't cry like that when someone's leaving. That is not good. Like, I literally thought that plane was gonna crash, because the way that girl was crying, oh my gosh, like, don't go, don't go, don't go. To the flight, and I was sitting next to this boy, and I was alone, mind you. I didn't have my best friend, I didn't know anybody, and I think by then, at least 70 or 80% of the people that were in that scholarship group, they've gotten to know each other. They had pizza, because I remember there were groups that they created, like, oh guys, let's get to know each other before we travel, since we're all gonna live together for the next 7 years. I was just not all about that stuff. I really wasn't. I had my best friends, so I was like, I don't need anybody else. There was this boy sitting next to me. Oh my gosh, the guy, it was his first time on a plane. It was my first time going abroad, but it was not my first time on a flight. I think my first flight was in Angola, from Namibian to Luanda, no, to Onjiva. I think that was my first time on a plane. But that was my first flight abroad, but it was not my first time on the plane. That's the point. Now this guy, I think, was his first time on the plane, and I was sitting next to him. I just see him say, oh, good night. Like, imagine, boy, I'm already stressed out. Like, I have people that I just left at the airport. This guy was holding on to me for dear life. Oh my gosh. And I remember we got to SA. I have pictures of that. You'll see that somewhere here. Like, oh, when I think of that whole journey, it's just so emotional for me, because I didn't really want to go, but I was just like, oh, you know what? Let me just do this. You understand? Because the fact that my mom didn't take me to the airport, there was already a whole lot for me. But I was just like, you know what, girl? I'm tough. I'm still a tough girl. I'm strong at heart. I can do this, and got this, man. Got this. Now we landed. Jesus, the weather. I know there was like around November, there was November 30th that we arrived in Russia. Oh my God. The weather was not encouraging. Nothing was encouraging. People are speaking a different language. It was just, we were so many. The ride from the airport was so long. But for some reason, I wasn't really like, I think that time I think I'd already met up with Annelie. We were like, you know, let's make the best of it. So I was trying to make the best of that whole trip. Then we got to this place, right? We got to this old looking building. I'm like, this is not the university that we Googled. This is not what they showed us on YouTube. They took us into this building so that all of us could wait there. Like, we were only, I think we were about 30 or 40 of us, because the group some groups that flew, like him said, 9 o'clock, we met up with them they met up with us in SA, because we're having this long transit. It was just, oh guys, they took us to this building, and those that know, if you go to an international university, especially here in Russia, you'd meet a lot of Indians and Chinese, and guys, the whole floor, especially if you're not accustomed to that food, was smelling of that. Like, I just wanted to come back home. I wanted to take the first, if someone gave me a flight to go back home that day, and probably the next few months after that, I would have said, take me back. I'm not enjoying this. It was just not what it seemed to be. We didn't have warm clothes, and it was just complicated. Let me tell you one of the biggest bomber clats that happened when we arrived in Russia. This whole time we thought we were coming to study in English language, because we're only 4 of us that were going to study pharmacy, hey? And we got here, even the government didn't know, and we found out that we had to do 1 year of Russian. That's only 4 of us, the rest of them could start. 1 year of Russian so that we could study in Russian language. I don't even know what didn't bring us home. No, I didn't go back home, because when I told my mom that I want to go back home, she said that she wasn't the one that told me to go. You for saying that, because I finished, and now I came back with two degrees. Not easy, but we made it. We graduated, and lo and behold, your doctors are here. Whether the government wants to recognize us as doctors or not, we don't really care, but we still do know our butanals, aldolos, and okay. I haven't touched the book since I graduated, guys. I'm just saying. I am just a simple Russian girl. I've got vodka in my blood, so I dance with brown bears, and my soul is strong. Goodbye, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and до следующий раз. До свидания. Goodbye.